What up? What up? Time to talk a little fantasy football. Week 1 preseason recap. Talk about some news and notes. Players that may be hurt, players that may be questionable, players that we're not sure what to think about or how to rank them heading into your 2019 fantasy football August drafts. So hit me with some questions. Let's talk some fantasy football. Darrell Henderson had a kind of a shaky debut in his preseason action. You're wasted, bro. Good job, Rapture. Darwin Thompson looked fantastic in his preseason debut. There were quite a few people that looked absolutely fantastic. There are quite a few people that we're a little bit worried about, or some people are worried about. I'm not worried about Henderson yet. In fact, I kind of like the fact that he might be more undervalued than before. He's a rookie. Rookies can have a shaky start. Not everybody will have the best start as a rookie the first game in. What's up, Darrell? What up, my man? What up, Eric? The guy never stops. That's right, Eric. I don't stop. Don't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. Mock drafting. News, notes. You know it. I already did a live stream today, but I'm back. And there's some audio problems with that mock draft. I'm going to re-upload the video. It's edited a little bit, tightened up, and I'll be uploading that tomorrow. So if you missed that, make sure you check it out tomorrow. Henderson looked shaky, but the talent is there. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I like it. I actually like it. I prefer him not to be overdrafted. What's up, Henry? Just about to go to bed. Not anymore, Henry. Smitty at the fourth pick. Who you going? Zeke, baby. I haven't changed my mind. I don't let Zeke fall out of my top 4. Not yet. Not for a little while. He's not being used. He wouldn't be used in the preseason right now anyway, so I'm not worried about it. After he misses his second preseason game, let's start talking. What else you guys got for me? Hit me with it. Darwin Thompson looked fantastic. Tony dropping the super chat. Thank you, sir. Tony's always doing that. Tony's the man. Been a while. Your thoughts on Kyler Murray? He looked fantastic. More importantly, Tony, Arizona looked fantastic. Arizona looked the part. Arizona looked like a very well-oiled machine out there in a very short amount of time. But man, I'm excited. Arizona, I've been a little bit like, okay, I'm in Arizona myself. Am I feeling a little bit Homer-like with this whole thing? Am I not seeing straight? I believe that we saw what we're going to see during the year in that preseason game, in that short little period, where Kyler Murray can just pick off open defenders open receivers one at a time while that defense gets so spread out. So I'm super excited. I think top 7 to 11 could be anywhere in that range. QB numbers in fantasy football for Kyler Murray in 2019 as a rookie, because things will be that spread out. Might be insane. I took Brown in the 3rd round today. Yeah, a little high for Antonio Brown. I took him in the 4th round today, first pick in the 4th round, and I feel a little uneasy about it, but I also feel like it could be okay. Why has Melvin fallen so far further than Zeke? Because Melvin's less important to his team in the eyes of the team, in the eyes of the fans and the ticket sales and all that. You don't have Zeke, you're going to be struggling a lot more as an organization financially than you are without Melvin Gordon. Zeke's also younger. Zeke has a big, bright future. Melvin Gordon's been overworked, and people wonder, including the Chargers, whether he can, put it together for 2 or 3 more years. It's more like 1 or 2. Yeah, so Smitty, that's what I was thinking. DJ over Zeke, because my draft is Sunday. I still take Zeke, but you're not crazy. A lot of people are in your boat, but, Arizona offense, even though it's a preseason, didn't look bad. I agree. Preseason, you can't have knee-jerk reactions, but I think you also do. Can you hear that with the wind, guys? Sorry, it's a little windy. Is the audio still okay, even with the wind? You don't want to have knee-jerk reactions in either direction with the preseason. And I use this example a lot. Marshall Faulk's last year, when Marshall Faulk was about to fall off the face of the earth, Marshall Faulk, that year going in, people were like, okay, I don't think this guy's a top 4 pick anymore. What does he do? He goes out and has, I think 3 first half touchdowns in his last preseason game right before my draft. And this is like 2000 or 1999, something like that. So it's a long time ago. We're talking 19, 20 years ago. Marshall Faulk goes out, has 3 TDs. And I'm like, dude's back. Preseason, 3 TDs. I know it's preseason, but come on, you know. The guy laid an egg that season and did nothing. So important not to overreact, important not to have knee-jerk reactions to positive things. It's also important not to like knee-jerk react to, you know, Darrell Henderson as a rookie having a shaky first go at carries. The guy's a home run hitter. They will want to use him once they get a dose of what that guy can deliver on the regular behind that Rams offensive line. I'm not worried about it, nor was I ever planning to use Henderson out the gate in week 1. That's the crazy part. As when I started with the whole Henderson train and trying to conduct that train down the tracks, I had no idea that the Todd Gurley news would, I mean, I predicted that there could be a chance that Todd Gurley's not ready for week 1 and all this stuff could come out. I had no idea that things would get worse and worse and worse. I didn't have a for sure answer because we're all guessing. So all of my Henderson talk has not been about week 1. It's about, hey, at some point Henderson's going to get in there and blow up. So I like the fact that he's going down a little bit. Hit the like button, fella, says Gabriel. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys, hit that like button on the way in. Guy in my league traded 2020 first round pick for Preston Williams. Dolphins fan much. Crying emoji. Yeah, Jaws, that's a little early. He's a guy to pick up, but not a guy to trade first rounders for. Henry, I watched a draft hosted by Juju. I was in that draft. I was spamming the hell out of it, bro. I was putting Smitty every other, minute in the comments. I had a few people calling me out too, saying, Smitty, Smitty. So I was in there. Promoting guerrilla warfare style. Juju did well in that draft. He passed on himself. That's right, Henry. And he took Hopkins. And then Juju was taken by the ball. The Ballers took Juju. But what an awful draft. That was a bad draft. Let's be honest. It was fun and entertaining, but it was horrible. They didn't know what they're doing in that draft. Guy in my league traded 2020 first round pick. Oh, I already read that. Take a lap, Smitty. Hit the button, fellas. Cruz, Juju wants to win the league. Did anyone else see the Juju draft? So yes, I was in there. I was dropping my lines here and there, dropping little feet emojis. If you saw, Henry, a bunch of feet emojis and helmet emojis, that was me. I put like 15 feet saying like, take AB. And there'd be like 15 feet and a couple helmets. That was me. Devontae Adams falling, DJ falling, Connor going super high, Gurley going super high. Come on. That was a clown draft. Let's be frank. Counselor was in there. I was in there. A couple other guys were in there. We're all kind of throwing our 2 cents in. We would have loved to have been in that draft, but we aren't big enough yet. But we'll be there with your help. If you hit that thumbs up, I will be there. But you have to hit the thumbs up. Juju had a solid team, though. He does. Juju's going to clean up in that draft. I didn't see what the Ballers ended up with. But Juju was looking good, dude. Juju had what do you have? He had a Hopkins. Did he have Odell? I forget who he had, but he's going to clean up. But we would have cleaned up if we could have drafted as a community in that draft. But I love how they coined it the biggest draft ever. The Throne League, I might have created the biggest draft ever. The small-time Smitty guy that only has 2,100 subscribers on YouTube in 6 straight months, in six quick months. We've been growing ultra fast. Our engagement's through the roof. The watch minutes are insane for having only 2,100 subscribers. We are growing big. But I think we created the biggest league in history. You could say that the Scott Fish Bowl is probably the biggest in terms of reach and recognition. But the biggest single league with the most people involved in a league with just 12 teams, you're looking at the guy right here that created the biggest league ever, because the Throne League had over 600,000 followers involved in that process at some point or another. Not everybody was involved in every pick. But I like how they're coining this draft the biggest league ever. And I like how there are people on here right now. Who's the first ever 24-hour live streaming fantasy football show? Me. And there are people copying that as we speak. Now, granted, I like some of the people that are trying it, but there are a lot of people out trying to copy a lot of the things that we deploy here on the Fantasy Football Show. And copying is the best form of flattery, I will say. But I don't think anybody can do a 24-hour live stream like we do it. which is, you know, insane. By myself, with you guys. You know, we're gonna do it up. So August 23rd, I'm repeating my 24-hour live stream. August 23rd, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going live for 24 straight hours, mock drafting in a real league with you guys. 48 teams, 4 copies of every player in the draft, meaning that your first round ends at 48, and the first pick in the second round is pick 49. That's your bookend, 48, 49, and with 4 copies of every player in the draft, you're talking about the same players being available at 48, 49 turn as you would at 12 and 13 in a real 12-team draft. So don't think that the teams will be light. The teams will be the exact same looking as a 12-team league in the 48-team, the fantasy football showdown, I think is what we'll call it, right? The Showdown League. Showdown. What's up, Rich? I think Hunter Henry is a top 4 tight end. He could be. You're not nuts. I mean, everybody thinks that's possible, bro. That's not even like bold. That's not bold, bro. You're right on target. I think he's ranked 4 or 5. I did 3 drafts today and another 58 to get your goal of 111. Okay, Henry, that's a good goal. That's a lot. 20 in here and only 12 likes, says Paulie Cat. Paulie's right. Mr. Rogers says Smitty greater than the Ballers. I appreciate that. I tried to highlight that comment, but on mobile I don't think I can. Oh well. Live chat. I don't know. What are all these features here? I'm trying to use this mobile app more. Oh well, I'll play with it later. I'll play with it later and talk to you guys. What were we going to talk about here today? Do you worry at all about Mike Davis in regards to Montgomery? Not really, sir. Not really, Polycat. You know why? Because David Montgomery is top 5 to 10 material, and just like you don't worry about other players when it comes to Zeke, or other players when it comes to Melvin Gordon when he's on the field, or DJ when he's on the field, Montgomery's that caliber player, in my opinion. So no. What is Kareem Hunt worth in Dynasty, in your opinion? I think he's a must-own for all Nick Chubb owners in redraft and Dynasty alike. I don't care what everybody says. I don't care what the haters say. I don't care what the half of the population that goes, Smitty, you're an idiot for wanting to keep a guy that's not playing for 9 weeks. I love that. That's my favorite reaction. People come to me and go, Smitty, like I don't know. Do you know that Kareem Hunt will be on your bench for 9 straight weeks and not play? Like, I don't understand the situation. Kareem Hunt is fantastic security for anybody that owns Nick Chubb. So in Dynasty standalone value, I mean, you could call him like late first round rookie equivalent trade material if you wanted me to put a price tag on it. And if you own Nick Chubb, you better buy him for that, for sure. Nick Chubb has flown up the draft board, went 1.08 and 2.01 in 2 of the drafts today. I definitely believe that. Would you take David Montgomery in front of D. Williams? Absolutely at this point right now. But I still like D. Williams, and I think he could be a bargain in the 3rd round now. But you got to cuff him to Darwin. Look, what did I say? What if I said, and I love that I'm still getting people that don't understand the videos and content I've produced on this, because they come to me and say, you're wrong about Damian Williams. What did I say about Damian Williams? Cuff him. It's the situation. Situation is king. And with that situation, it's not Damian Williams. It's the situation. It's the package. And what did I say? Hyde could look like the cuff, and he may be the initial cuff from the get-go, because they'll trust him a little more than Darwin as a rookie. But Darwin is the guy down the way that will be the replacement if Damian can't survive as the starter, or if Damian gets hurt, or if Damian falters. Darwin is the long-term redraft investment. Hyde is the upfront redraft investment. But what have I said for 3-4 straight months? I've said that you need to have the ability to cuff maybe even both Darwin and Hyde to Damian. And if you can't, you have no business owning Damian Williams. Same thing with Nick Chubb. If you can't afford, if you play in a Yahoo League with 4 roster spots and you can't afford to handcuff Kareem Hunt to Nick Chubb, you have no business owning Nick Chubb. I've said that from the beginning. So when someone comes to me and says, Smitty, you were wrong about Damian Williams, it makes me want to scream, because the whole time I've said you must cuff these situations, and Damian is one of them. Darwin looked fantastic tonight. 20-something in the run, 20-something in the passing game, a touchdown, very aggressive run. Freaking looked fantastic. I'm a big Darwin fan myself too. Would you take Evans or AB's clown in the third? Evans in the... Dude, I think Jacob wants me to yell at him right now and make him take a lap. Evans is like a top 15 to 20 overall player. Antonio Brown could be a steal in the 4th round, but you're talking about 15 plus picks in between those two guys. My man, Jacob. Oops, Landry. LOL, autocorrect. What did you read up above? I would take the laundry service side of that trade. I think you meant the Landry side, the laundry service. We're starting calling Landry the laundry man, the laundry guy. Monty or Kittle in the 3rd round. Hate to break it to you, Ben, but you're probably not going to get Monty in the 3rd round anymore. So you take Monty in the 2nd and Kittle in the 3rd. If your grandma doesn't know what's going on in any of your leagues, guys, you can definitely get away with Monty in the 3rd round, maybe even the 4th still. But if you're drafting with a bunch of fantasy shark type drafters, you're looking at David Montgomery, now about to be a 2nd round staple, which I said in video after video last week and the week before. 2nd round staple. Montgomery, be prepared to pay a 2nd round price and be fine with it, because he can deliver. There's nothing wrong with David Montgomery in the 2nd round. Something I've said for weeks now. You got Monty at 3.5 in your big money shark draft today. Happa, pat yourself on the back and slap yourself on the butt, because that was a damn good job. You did a fantastic job. I'm proud of you. Bird, hey Smitty, you like blah 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 his name in Tampa? Pretty hard to say his name. I think I'll wait on him, but maybe trade Nikhil for a top 3 2020 first rounder. Was that a good move? I think I like that about the same, because I think N'Keal Harry may look like a lesser part of that equation right now. But just wait. N'Keal Harry, I still firmly believe could turn into the next Calvin Johnson, Terrell Owens. But fair market value-wise, you'd probably rather have a top 3 2020 pick if you're guaranteed that to be in the top 3. No laps, please, says Jacob. Jacob, you get a pass. I'm going to start giving out get-out-of-lap free cards, and I'm going to email them to you, and you can actually hold them in your hands when you do something amazing for the show. And if you ever do something bad, you get a get-out-of-lap free card, and it might even have something on it, like some kind of prize, discount code, whatever. Got to keep one from Aaron Jones, Damian Williams, and Headache. Are you talking about Antonio Brown, or are you just saying Headache? Keep one out of those two. You got to keep probably Aaron Jones at this point. But if you had Damian cuffed, I would like Damian and Darwin. D-Hop, Mike Thomas, David Montgomery with your first picks. Attaboy Happa. Pat yourself on the back. Is Tyrell Williams debatably a top 25 wide receiver if AB doesn't play? No, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But what you do is, if you grab AB, you already own AB, whatever, cuff him to Tyrell Williams. It's weird because I've never, ever talked about cuffing wide receivers. Maybe once before in my freaking 13, 14 years doing this. And I've been on CBS Sports Radio for 13 plus years. I'm going on CBS Sports Radio every Wednesday, and I'm going to live stream that bad boy right here on the Fantasy Football Show. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can watch the CBS radio show, the longest running fantasy football radio show on the planet. Nobody has me beat on that. I do it with, I am the co-host of the show. The host of the show, Russ Bliss, has been doing it for 23 years. The show's been 23. I've been on it 13, going on 14, I believe it is. And nobody has a show longer than 23 years, but we do. and it's fantastic. And I'm going to, what was my whole point? Yeah, Russ Bliss. He's the man. Russ Bliss is a dinosaur, one of the OGs. I forget what I was going to say. Something about, I don't know. Monty, got to keep one, headache, Tyrell Williams. That's what I was going to say. I haven't talked about cuffing guys maybe once in like, I don't know, the 13, 14 years that I've been doing this. But this year I've talked about it a lot. Tyreek Hill, when he was never going to play again, was drafted after Mecole Hardman, and that was one of the best cuffs to do because it protected you in case the news went south, which everybody expected Tyreek Hill to never play again. And so you could draft Mecole Hardman and then Tyreek Hill in like the 10th round, 9th round. And I did that. And that was one of my best cuff strategies that I was talking about all over Instagram for like a week. And then it freaking got shut down because Tyreek Hill news broke that he probably would only miss maybe 3 games or 4 games. And then it turned into none. The other handcuff option that you could do is Tyrell Williams with Antonio Brown. So if you invest in Antonio Brown at 4th round value, go ahead and get yourself Tyrell Williams in like round 10. And then you're pretty golden. Tiny Turley, that team is sick. Let me see up above. I hear you, Smitty. First year I did fantasy, Cordell went number 1. That's crazy. Late to the party. Glad you're here. You were talking about cuffing wide receivers. Thank you. Should you start thinking about Pollard in Dallas? Yeah, you should. OG, triple OG. Yes, sir. Jacob, second 2 QB league. I'm getting Zeke and Hill and all day in mock draft searching for 3rd round magical pick. Kittle could be that, but in a 2 QB league, you better start thinking about QBs. Tony must have posted his team above. Tony, here you go. You got David Montgomery at 4.08, Tony, in a 275 buy-in league tonight. 4.08, Tony, schooling people. 4.08, dude. I don't know how people are still doing that. Tony, if I was in your draft, I would have screwed up tonight because I would have been like, everybody knows that David Montgomery is the 2nd round value now. I'm going to take him in the 2nd round. Or he fell to the 3rd round pick. I would have taken him there. Tony cleaned up and waited balls on this guy and lands him at 4.08. Devontae Adams at 1.05, Chubb at 2.08, Kittle at 3.05, David Montgomery at 4.08. I was stunned he was there, says Tony. Tony, you're dropping amazing team on us right there. That's how you go to school and teach. Hey, Smitty from Hawaii, what's up? Ugly dude, keep it flowing. I love Hawaii. I talked about this before. I won't talk about it too long, but I almost died on the Mokulua Islands, ugly dude. Do you know where the Mokes are? The Moke Islands near off like Waikiki. I almost died on there when I was about 19 years old. Yeah, nobody knows. You can still get him late in a lot of leagues, and I haven't seen him go in the 3rd round in any of the leagues. Well, I don't know how. I may misjudge how reactive people would be, but I'm also on top of this like crazy, and the people that I'm around, we all infect each other with the old David Montgomery is going to be a top 5 to 10 running back. So in leagues where we draft and we're all like-minded and we know each other, we see the same content, you see him in the 2nd round. In leagues outside of the Instagram world, outside of the YouTube fantasy football world, he's still slipping. Slipping on gin and juice, Hazel. Cuffing wide receivers is not usually a good idea, but each year is different. Yeah, cuffing wide receivers hasn't been a good idea for 13 of the 14 years I've been doing this. It's just a weird year where there's 2 situations that not only are good cuffing situations, but they've been gold. Yeah, nobody knows. You can still get him in a lot of leagues late. I haven't seen him go. Already read that one. Take a lap, Smitty. But let me know about that Mokulua Island question. Thoughts on Darius Geis? Darius Geis could be huge down the stretch. If they try and unleash him early, Darius Geis is not going to have a good situation. He won't be looking at a good situation because he's not ready. He's going to probably get hurt if he tries to rush himself back. Same thing with Cooper Kupp Same thing with a lot of these guys that try and get back. Sleeper tight end this year, David and Njoku. What player surprised you in the preseason? No one surprised me other than, I'd say, like, to where I didn't think they were going to do well, outside of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones dropped some serious take a lap moments for Smitty. I may have to take a lap, and I may do that. I'm gonna let him prove it a little more. But Daniel Jones looked a lot better than I thought he was gonna look. Happa worried that Henderson didn't look good. No, I talked about that right when I started the show. I'm not worried about that at all. In fact, it feeds me, it fuels me to just stash him more. I never, when I started the whole Darrell Henderson hype train, I never in a million years, well, no, I shouldn't say that. That's totally wrong. I never expected him to be a week 1 starter or anything. It's more about, you know, there's a chance that Todd Gurley may not be ready. I said that a lot, but I still think they would have tried to deploy a running back by committee situation. So I'm not expecting anything crazy out of Darrell Henderson in week 1. Darrell Henderson's more of like later on, this is going to win you leagues if you invest. So no, I'm not worried about that. Chris Thompson with a little worried about his usage this year. Daniel Jones, bro. Smitty might have been wrong. I might be singing a I'm sorry song to Daniel Jones. He looked good, man. Not only did he just like connect, he looked crisp, man. I mean, he looked really smooth. I'm gonna pump the brakes on jumping ship on my prediction that they wasted that pick. But I'm starting to think maybe I screwed up on that one. But we all have those moments. We all miss some stuff. I figured Chris Thompson would be busy. Unreal, surprised me. I think he's a bum, though. Time will tell, says the drunk man known as Silver Rapture. How hammered are you, Silver? A lot or a little? Or you won't even remember this show tomorrow. Tell us how you're doing there. When will you draft AB? I drafted him today in my live YouTube show. The couch and I went on and did a double live stream, his show and my show live stream. You can watch it right now. I had an echo in it. I'm going to upload the better version tomorrow, and it's faster, tighter. I got rid of some gaps in audio, so it's a real tighter recording. I'm going to upload that tomorrow morning, bright and early, so if you want to see that. Ugly dude, Mokalua Islands and Kailua. I call them the Twin Islands. Yes, I almost died on the Mokaluas because I'm an idiot, or I was an idiot when I was 18. My brother and I walked around to the front of those islands, and the swells, you know, it's swells. They're not waves anymore. They're a mile out, right? We canoed to the front. There's signs on it now, but back then I think there weren't. And we went to the front and we watched these swells go higher than the island, and they started getting closer. And being an 18-year-old kid, not understanding the ocean all that well, I didn't realize those swells were moving toward us, and eventually we're gonna go over the top of the front of that island. Swept us off onto jagged rocks, and we were like hanging on. So scary. Mokalua Islands. When do you draft Gurley? Right now I'm drafting Gurley probably, well, I'm never gonna draft Gurley because no one's gonna let him fall. Gurley would be like a 3rd rounder to me, cuffed to Darrell Henderson, and I'd feel good about that if I had to go that route. With Gurley being back in camp, or running in camp, signs of him being able to at least sprint and things like that, his value shot back into the 9 to 15 overall range. So I will never have to draft Gurley. That's not going to happen. But that's about where I would take him. Highest you'll draft Juju pick-wise, I'd probably say around 12 to 14. Not that he can't earn a top 9 or 8 overall pick, but I think he just makes for a fine, an amazing 2nd round pick, top of the 2nd. It gives you a lot of upside. Gurley, AB, Geis, sorry about that plane overhead. Cooper, Kupp are your squad. That's a tough squad. Highest you'll draft Juju, I already answered that. Freeman, a bust, could be. I assume you're talking about Devonta. Kerryon Johnson makes sense there too. I'm sure you're answering someone else's question. Devonta Freeman, boomer bust. So I think Freeman in the 4th round is a good gamble to make, but I don't know that you're talking about a like anything close to a sure bet, so you can't draft him in the 3rd round even, I don't think. You got to let someone else take him early if they want to take him early. It's just DJ at worst. Last year still had 1,410. I love DJ, so I'm sure you're asking a question above him. Scrolling back up. Lucas, I had that team. The idea is to grab some shares of Kittle. Yes, Kittle in the 3rd round. Guys, Kittle in the 3rd round wins you a league, potentially. Tony and I talk about this a lot, and Tony sent me some stats on Kelce and how Kelce gave you like this 13 to 16% chance, increased chance of winning your league last year, given where you got him. So same concept here. You're talking about a guy that can be the #1 tight end and at least produce close to numbers as Kelce, or could outperform Kelce. I think, call me an insane man, but I think Kittle's about to drop that big of a season in 2019. He's my #1 dynasty tight end, and he's my #2, but I like him better than Kelce at the value. 16% for Kelce, 15% for Ertz, and 15% for Kittle. So this year, I believe, given Kittle's in the 3rd round, you're talking about Kittle getting you probably a 15 or 16, 17% chance of, if you land your other stuff and do well, of winning your league. And look at those stats however you want. There's all kinds of ways you can twist that up. You like Juju in the 5th round over Aaron Jones in the 11th. Yes, definitely. I wouldn't care so much about 5th and 10th when you're talking about getting a guy that's potentially a top 12 overall player rounds and rounds ahead. You're making out on that. And you can probably draft Aaron Jones back. You probably won't get Juju back. That should always be the determining factor for you. Ask yourself, who am I more likely to draft back? If the answer is one player by far, then that player should be dropped and keep the other player, because you're telling yourself, hey, this guy's going to get taken right away. He's a hotter commodity. So Smitty, go for Juju. Wow, good looks, brother. Thank you. 12-team, super flex, 6 spot. Do you prefer David Johnson or Devontae Adams? I prefer, if Hopkins is gone, then I'm probably looking, that's tough, man. And I hate to give you this, no concrete answer, but if I had 2 exact drafts simultaneously with that situation, I'd go 1 and 1 and 1 and the other, assuming Hopkins is gone, and assuming Zeke Elliott didn't fall. LaShawn McCoy, chance of going to the Chargers or Cowboys or Chiefs. I don't know on that, man. Honestly, I'd be guessing. You like Juju? Okay, I already answered that question. In a 12-team, 2 kick return league, I have the 7th pick. Hesitation on Kelce. I usually love hoarding running backs. I do too, but I also like the wide receiver if it's priced right. I hesitate on Kelce at all in the 1st and 2nd round period because of what I just explained, that Kittle is falling to the 3rd round. And if Kelce and Kittle are more valued in Ertz than in this league, then address it accordingly. So if Kittle becomes the 2nd, he's still a whole round lower than Kelce. And that's where your advantage is to get a guy that can play just as well as Kelce a round later. That's where you're going to crush it. Kittle and Ertz are both being kept in my Dynasty League. Sadly, sorry to hear that. Go get David Njoku. He will eat. Don't listen to the people saying there are too many mouths to feed. The Browns are going to look like Kansas City. The Browns and Kansas City are going to be the 2 most aggressive and exciting teams in the NFL. The Cardinals won't be far behind. They won't produce the same numbers out of their players, but excitement-wise, aggressiveness, the Cardinals are going to be unbelievable this year. Carry on. I like Carry On a lot, but people are going too high, man. You can't make him a 2nd-round player yet. He's got to stay in that 3rd round for you to get your value and to bake in that risk. Just did your draft in a 6-point passing TD league. How early would you take Mahomes? Bottom of the 2nd easily in a 6-point TD, maybe in the mid-2nd. Where are you at, Smitty? Looks like a brewery. Sounds like an Air Force base. I'm in Tempe at the district, Tempe Town Lake. 1 Odell. I don't know what the first part of that question was. Why not wait on a tight end? You can. that's a good strategy too. There's a lot of ways to win, but Kelce is the one player that makes me want to reach a little bit. In third round's not that big of a reach. Second and first round for Kelce is way too, you walk out of your draft not liking your team, is what I always tell people when you draft Kelce in the first round or even the mid-second. Draft Kittle, you'll like the balance a lot better. But waiting's not a bad move either if you take like a Njoku or somebody like that. Odell, Connor, Devonta Freeman, Antonio Brown, what do you think? I think that Odell is fantastic. Connor, I am staying away from, as you'll probably see Caleb in a lot of my content. Make sure you cuff him at all costs. If you got Samuel and Snell, then you're probably okay. If you have small rosters, you probably should have win a different running back, in my opinion, because you can't properly back him up. Freeman's a risk, but better of a fourth round pick. Antonio Brown's a pretty decent risk in the fourth round at this point. Your team could be, Caleb, a top 4 team very easily if Connor delivers and you back him up properly. And if Freeman pops at all and gets back to what he's used to, you literally could dominate or you could fall flat on your face. Caleb, I'd be okay with that because you have a potential for either direction. That means you did well and you've got risk, but maybe it's the good risk. Maybe you took risk on the good bet, so don't feel bad about that. So Kittle in the third or wait. I take Kittle. Well, it depends who's available. Jacob, you can't go into any draft with a set strategy. I'm going to take this guy. You got to go with the flow. So in general, I'll answer that and say that Kittle, when Mahomes is, I take Kittle over Mahomes sometimes because I can go Baker in the 6-7 range, maybe, if he doesn't get taken earlier now. A-Rod in the late 4th or even early 5th sometimes. I like A-Rod in the late 4th or early 5th and Kittle more than I like Mahomes in trying to figure that tight end situation out later. So that kind of answers your question. There's definitely different ways to attack that, and flow of draft means everything. Where do you rank Goff in your QB rankings? Probably, mind you, the 8 to 15 range, you can put in a blender. So don't take this the wrong way. Goff could be 10 points away from being top 7 or 8, but I'd say between like 8 and 15. And I don't know that I start Goff because there's other players I'm grabbing before. 2 QB league, you follow the flow. That's good. Sometimes it's good to go against the grain too. If you can start a trend, and that trend, so let's say you go, just an example, I'm not saying to take 2 QBs first, but let's say you had Mahomes, or let's say nobody took a QB until you took Mahomes at 12. I'm not saying in a 2 QB league Mahomes would fall at 12. Let's say Aaron Rodgers or whatever. Let's say you take Rodgers and Baker and you start a QB trend, and almost the entire second round are QBs. Now you only have to wait for your turn pick, which is down in the end of the third round. You don't have to wait really 10 picks because you weren't going to take another QB anyways. So it depends if you can draft against the grain. It can help you, but yeah, it can burn you if you aren't going with the flow sometimes. Why is Trubisky ranked so low? All his receivers were new last year. Polycat, I think it just comes down to they're just like literally like some would say 10 to 15 point difference between number 8, which could be Goff, and Trubisky, who could be 16. And people just would rather trust one of those other guys before they trust Trubisky, but probably would tell you, most people, I like Trubisky enough that I could see him being as good as a Goff. You got Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin, and Chubb. Do I go receiver or tight end? If it's Kittle, I don't care, man. I take the best player available. So if Kittle's the best player available, you clean up. You already have an amazing start. If you can start all 3 of those running backs and drop Kittle in there, go sleeper wide receiver shopping and don't worry about anybody hating on your wide receivers because you're going to dominate. So best player available, that might be Kittle, it might not be. If Kittle's gone, I still go best player available. Not that you go running back if you can only start 3 because then you'd have 4, but like if Mahomes was there or something like that. Smitty, do you go down to any card practices? Curious to know how the offense looks. I don't go to a lot of the practices, or I haven't this year. I've been wanting to. I'm so busy. I can't even explain it. My content side on sleeperu.com alone is like a 40 to 50 hour a week job. Just the content alone, keeping things going, updates, all the emails, the business inquiries, everything. I mean, it's not just updating content. Moderating things, the forum, then adding in all the video work I do. Is literally like another almost 40 hour a week job. Instagram alone is like 15 to 20. I don't even know how I do it, to be honest with you. So getting away for a day like that, if I was going to do a live stream and do a video out of it, that makes sense. Maybe I will try something like that It's crossed my mind, like, hey, rather than create a video today, I'll do a live, and then when I get back, I can get on the content and all the other stuff. But I literally get like 250 to 300 like emails a day, and it's not spam. It's like everything to do with my 13 to 14 years of my business. I can't explain to you all the communication that I have constantly going that's developed over those 13, 14 years. It's so crazy. Contact or practices. I must have missed something above. Zeke or DJ? Zeke is not falling out of my top 4 yet. He's not. So to answer that question across the board, I take Zeke Elliott number 4 if he falls to me. I take him at 5 with a smile. I'm not ready to drop him out yet. We'll talk after he misses his second week and then enters week 3. I'm going to be a little more worried. Thoughts on Lat Murray's usage? I think Lat Murray is a standalone flex option. Very decent standalone option, but he doesn't concern me for Kamara's value. Kamara's a number 1. Kamara's my 1.01. He has been since, I think, January 1. And I haven't wavered on that, I don't think, at all. I mean, there may have been a video where I took Barkley or something to mix it up, or I did, 10 mock drafts and I wanted to get, so there might be something out there where I do take somebody instead of Kamara every time because, I'm doing a lot of content. I try and mix things up. But Nolan will tell you, in general, he says right here, 1.01 since 101. And I don't know if he's just joking and doesn't have that actual documented, but I'm pretty sure I've had Kamara there my almost my whole off season. So Dalvin or Chubb, I'd say Dalvin, but I think that Chubb, if you had him backed up with Hunt and you didn't have Dalvin backed up, I might say, hey, I like the Chubb side more. If you've got both backups or neither backups, Cook is where I kind of lean. If Zeke goes full Le'Veon Bell 2019 mode, any chance there is a Dallas running back? I mean, Pollard would be the guy I'd take, but I think that this is going to be a mess if Zeke doesn't report or whatever. But guys, I don't really feel like this is going to be that same situation. I don't know if anybody has the numbers in front of them. I'm going to sit down until they kick me out. I don't know if anybody has the numbers in front of them, but I'm pretty sure that Le'Veon Bell botched that entire thing to a level we've never ever seen before in a holdout. I think Lev Bell is scheduled to make about 14 point whatever million a year this year in his new contract with the Jets. He would have got that on his tender and already earned that if he would just played on his tender and then walked into a new deal. Let's say he got hurt. He would have already at least made the money. What if he gets hurt this year and can't, they cut him? I believe he's guaranteed a certain amount in this contract, but I don't know that it's as much as people think. So Le'Veon Bell botched his holdout. If he would have taken the last deal that the Steelers offered him, he would have already made, I believe it was like $20 million in his first year. So people saying that Lev Bell did good in his deal, he would today have already earned $20 million if he would have signed his last deal the Steelers offered him. So Lev Bell screwed himself. And I think if anybody's smart at all, and some of these players, maybe they aren't that smart sometimes, but I think if somebody was smart at all, they would, I think they're turning the lights on me here. They will have had advisors and people telling them, hey, this did not work well for Lev Bell. Don't think for a second that this is a smart play. You need to make sure that you, don't take this the distance. So I don't think anybody's going to take it the distance. I think that Zeke Elliott is learned from Lev Bell. No one learned anything positive from that holdout, and we will see Zeke Elliott report when push comes to shove. I don't think he'll go the route of Lev Bell and lose money and get older and potentially miss a step. When do you draft AJ Green? I've been taking him in about the 6th round, and I felt pretty good about it because he could miss a couple of games. He could miss half a year. Who knows? I'm hearing more along the lines of like 2 to 4 games. So that's pretty good at 6th round value. Yeah, 25 million guaranteed. Yeah, something like that. Paulie Woods Cooks Cup. What do you think? Woods Cooks Cup, just like you listed him. I think Cooper Kupp is a big injury risk. Do you see an uptick for Cam? No. Everybody's worried about Cam's shoulder. All I hear all day long is, do you think Like people are, so I have to look up Cam injury news because I'll get an email from somebody saying, hey, given Cam's shoulder, where do you rank DJ? Do you downgrade him? Hey, given Cam's shoulder, do you downgrade Samuel? And I look up the news. I'm like, did something happen to Cam today? No, everyone's worried about Cam's shoulder in general. So that's the first time I've ever heard anybody ask about an uptick for Cam Newton. I think everybody's worried about him. But zero, no practice contract. You don't get scared of injury with Zeke. I do get scared when players when they hold out and then they get thrown to the wolves in week 1. If Zeke can return for week 3 of the playoffs, I will be okay. If Zeke misses week 3, the playoffs, the preseason. If Zeke misses week 3 of the preseason and doesn't play in that week, I will have probably a little bit more of a reason to bump him to like 5, 6, 7, 8 range. And I don't know where yet. I'll tell you guys that when I know. That's about where I think I could see him falling. I think if he misses the 4th preseason game and you're doing your draft like that weekend, it'll be interesting where we all rank Zeke because I don't think any of us can really predict that yet. What do you think about the fact that Cam has been a top 5 QB every odd year? I think that's odd, Nolan. Nah, Bell messed up. Bell messed up big time. McCaffrey or Zeke, first pick PPR. I take Kamara, first pick PPR. If it's between those two, McCaffrey right now, he's safer. I saw that you really like Odell Beckham Jr. this year. Would you draft him ahead of Julio, Thomas, or Hill? Probably over everybody but Mike Thomas. I love taking Thomas and Odell together at the bookend picks. It's one of my favorite strategies. If I missed any other questions, I'm sorry. Do I flip Damian Williams and Leonard Fournette for DJ? Probably, Kevin. If you have the backups, like if who you're plugging in is legit, then it makes that a lot different. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So if I missed a question, repost it. I'm not ignoring you. I love when people say that. Smitty, you hate me. You're not answering my question. Like I would never ignore your question on purpose. What happened to Henderson in the preseason? I called Henderson up, Nick, and I said, don't play well. I have my drafts coming up. I need you to look kind of shady going into this game. And so Henderson said, okay, I'm going to go out there and just kind of look okay. So he did what he needed to do. It's preseason, man. I know it's easy to say, hey, take what David Montgomery did and make sure you realize that he's going to be a star. And then it's easy to say, hey, don't look at Darrell Henderson's bad night all that much and say, oh, Darwin Thompson did awesome tonight. He's going to be a stud. I know it's easy to say, hey, when are you going to pick and choose what works for you in the preseason? And that's the nature of this thing, man. You got to take in the information and there's guesswork. If people don't think this is 50% gut instinct, 25% luck, and 25% a whole bunch of other things, they're crazy. It's 50% gut instinct. Half of what I've done my whole career has been built off of the gut instinct stuff. I put a lot of stats and all that, in the mix for sure. But it is a boatload of gut instinct for sure. No question about it. What's up, Gabriel? Aaron Jones getting back. I think he's going to be back here soon. I think I read. Is McKinnon done? No, not yet, but I think we could be looking at that potentially. Not yet, but maybe. Monty Hazel. Where's Alandis Gary when you need him? Remember that guy? Man. Remember Quentin Griffin? If you're going to drop the Denver running back that looked like he was going to be a stud, and he actually was for a little bit. But remember Quentin Griffin? He was going to be amazing. Little guy. Monty or Darrell Henderson? Monty by a mile, Nick, and I love Darrell Henderson, but Monty is a top 5 to 10 running back. Rodgers or Luck world, I think you should go with Rodgers if it's me. I think new coaching staff, Aaron Jones finally being healthy, being big, strong, potentially going to have a big year. I'm definitely on board with Aaron Jones, but you can't really go wrong there. I think you're looking at a bunch of upside for both of them. Smitty, I get 1 point per 5 completions. Still waiting until at least the 6th to 8th round, maybe Goff. Baker, get Baker, man. They're going to be a very well-oiled machine in Cleveland. Get Baker. Marcel Shipp, yeah, remember that. I see Monty as just a runner and not a great in PPR. People said that about Zeke Elliott, Nick, and those people are not talking about that any longer. So I kind of think I think it's going to go the same route, and I love it. I love that people think that Monty can't catch. We will find out. Sometimes they don't use players enough in college, and I think that was the case with him. Same with Singletary. Singletary could be a 60-plus reception running back in the NFL. Don't listen to the people that say Singletary is not a good receiver. Singletary is potentially a top 10 to 12 running back in fantasy football moving forward. I love Devin Singletary. You better get on that train before it's too late. That guy's next. Kittle's value going up. What did I say on his Instagram? When Montgomery's value went up, I said, next up, George Kittle. And look what happened tonight. Everyone's talking about George Kittle. Mocked into the first 6 rounds, and they should be. And he's damn fine picking number in the 6th round. Kind of encouraging to see the Browns go no huddle. I love the Browns this year. I love the Browns. I got a Super Bowl ticket on the studio wall. Peyton Hillis, I remember him. Yeah. Quentin Griffin was the one that was exciting, though. You got Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Montgomery, and Lockett. Do you go QB or tight end next? Lockett was early, way early. You should have tossed that one out. Some people like him, but fourth round? Or no, 1, 2, 3. Was that 5th round? It depends on the QB. You got to give me the name of the players that are there. So I really like, A-Rod, Baker, Mayfield. Definitely think that would be a good addition for your team. But great start other than the Lockett pick. I'm not a big fan of Lockett, but maybe he'll be okay for you. Kind of encouraging to see. I already answered that. Smitty! What it do, man? Says Chuck. What's up, Chuck? William Green, remember him? Baker, Odell, Chubb, stack too much? No, Kevin, go do that. In one league, I'm gonna draft all Browns or all Kansas City players. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Mecole Hardman looked good tonight. Mecole Hardman's gonna be an amazing receiver. Is it okay to start Monty and Henderson with Singletary on the bench if you have Mike Evans, Adams, and Diggs at receivers? You'll want to start Singletary probably ahead of Henderson until Henderson gets a grip on some stuff. Henderson is probably not looking at the usage right away, which is expected. I never thought that in the very, very beginning of my Henderson hype train. So Devin Singletary will be getting potentially starter touches. Henderson will not out the gate unless Henderson really blows up in the preseason and Gurley pulls up limp. Then you will see a switch there and Hendy climb real fast. But give Hendy time. Don't judge Hendy too quickly, and Singletary has that potential right away. Ryan Grant for Green Bay. Yeah, I remember that. Trent Richardson. What about Monte Ball? Hey, Smitty, do you have any live in-person drafts this year? If so, tell us about it. I should have 1 or 2 coming up. I do a lot of drafts, a lot of leagues, and every year this one keeps holding on, but I feel like people are going to bail this year, so we'll see. I do about 3 buddy league drafts, and I do about 12 to 13 to 14 drafts and leagues for the brand. That car's dragging something. Maybe that's AB's helmet. Should I tell AB? Dragging AB's helmet. Should I protect Zeke? Well, you got to give me more information, Nick. Maybe you did above. But tell me how you're protecting and what are the costs involved. But yes, you should probably be protecting Zeke and Odell. If you can only pick one, depends on where. It sucks because I draft a week from today. AB's hat. AB wants to wear a flex fit hat instead of his helmet, or he's retiring. That should be his next thing. I have a theory that AB's using this to get out of what he did to his feet somehow, whether it's like buy time to get that all sorted. I don't know, but I just feel like this is a ploy. Like, who would think he's lying in such like it's like the Walter White, walking to the drugstore, dropping trout, and who is going to think he made that up to get out of that whole situation? So that's maybe what AB was watching some Breaking Bad. And he's like, I got to come up with some excuse because no one can see these feet yet. Smitty, you the man, bro. Thanks for this late night chat. You're at work and freaking smooth. Good. Glad, Gabriel. Spread the word, please. I know you don't want to tell people, but walk into a room full of people that don't play in leagues with you. Go to a sports bar, or if you're at a sports bar, or you're drinking at a bar and you see people with a Cardinal hat on or a Rams hat, or you can tell they're an NFL fan, walk up and tell them thefantasyfootballshow.com and just slap the table and say, you're welcome. Thank me later, and just walk away. That kind of promotion helps the channel grow without impacting your favorite source or whatever. Think creatively how to spread the word, because my goal, guys, is to get a daily fantasy football show. I want to be the first 10 to 2, like a 4-hour block show in the fantasy football industry, Monday through Friday, and then maybe the Sunday live I'll do with you guys too. But I want to be the first 10 to 2 show, and I think we can make it happen, but I need your help to spread the word. I need the thumbs up. We got 25 thumbs up in the room and 41 people watching. Like, don't kick the can down the road. Help me out. Let's get this show popping. Let's see if we can get that 25 thumbs up to, there's 42 people watching. Let's see if we can get it to, just knock it up 10 for me. So 28, so we went up 2. So we're at 28. We got 41 people watching, 30. There we go. People are reacting. That's what I'm talking about. If you guys can let people know about this show, I'm going to give you a 10 to 2 show. Like, everybody wins. Everybody wins. It's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to be on 10 a.m. to 2. Or if you guys, I'll do a vote. If you guys prefer a 4, because it'll be Eastern and West Coast, I got to kind of cater to both. So if I did 4 p.m. Eastern to like 7, at night show, that would be fantastic. You guys on your drive home could listen to the live Smitty show every day. 31, we're getting closer. 42 people in the room, only 31 thumbs up. Please hit it. Punch it. This is great, bro. Thanks. No problem. Dude, you're literally a fantasy guru. Thank you, sir. I'm about to win a league because of you. Thank you. Let's screenshot that. Nailed it. I put that thumbs up in Smitty. Thank you, Gabriel. Zeke for $60 in a $220 auction. Yes, Nick. Nick, what about Odell? You can't keep Odell as well? Gave my thumbs up, my dude. Thank you, Chuck. It says 0 for me. All the Cowboys running backs against San Francisco looked terrible. Terry Jones is about to throw the bag. Yeah, he better. If I missed a question, please post it. Silver Rapture. Living the dream, bro. Get it. Thank you, sir. No, I haven't picked. They're both 60. No, you have to pick. Sorry. No, you have to pick. They're both 60. You could probably get Odell back for less. You probably can't get Zeke for 60 if you put him back in today. So it's a little risky at this point, but I take Zeke. 0 in the chat. Smitty, you got any more mocks planned this week? Probably. I might do one Monday. I might do one Monday midday. I do a lot of night stuff because people are at work and the engagement's a little low during the work day. But I might do one Monday during the day. I might do just a live in general. I don't know. I might go eat somewhere and just do a live and just eat. I've been doing that lately. A way to get my lunch done and talk to you guys and get a video done so that I can do some content, written content, or do whatever else. Chubb is racing up boards on ESPN. Yes, he is. Can some people explain some of the downside of David Montgomery? Because all I'm hearing is positive stuff. I want to know the other story. Kevin, I'll tell you a downside. I can be objective. He's had a boatload of carries, more than I believe any of the other top backs. Obviously more than Jacobs, who's rushed for 640 yards, his biggest college rushing season. Montgomery's been fed a ton. He has a lot of mileage. So you want a negative? But that's about the only negative I can come up with, my man. Other than maybe Tariq Cohen's going to limit his PPR production more than we would like his rookie year, but Montgomery will get a kung fu grip on that in time and be like Zeke. Zeke progressively got into being a PPR monster. I have no question Montgomery will eventually be a 60-plus reception running back at the NFL level in maybe his second, third year. he could be 30, 35 as a rookie, 28 receptions. But David Montgomery's only downside really is that he has a boatload, not a little, a boatload of mileage. In my big money draft, I'm checking with Smitty. Attaboy Jacob. Carry on or Mac? Give me carry on, but if I had like 3 leagues, same situation, I'd probably take carry on, Mac. So like 1/3 of me wants to take Mac. Kittle breaks tight end records this year. Robin, stop speaking and spitting facts on this show, because that's what you're doing, Robin. Freaking facts. Kittle is going to win leagues for people in 2019. I firmly believe that. I'm all on board, Robin. I've been touting that for a long time. Here, Jacobs trying to get blah, blah, blah. Which receiver? Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Boyd, Watkins, or Allen Robinson? Boyd, then Williams, then Moore, then Watkins, then Allen. Here, Jacob. Mine said, oh, I read that already. What did I was going to do on this live? I was going to do, what's the title of this video? Will somebody tell me somebody posted the title of the video for me? Because I need to hit those topics real quickly. Do you know that AB was paid $244,000 by Facebook to create content, after which AB recorded the Steelers post game last year? Tomlin was madder. Sorry, it keeps vanishing. I have to keep tapping the screen. Yeah, I don't know what AB's up to. What sophomore QB you most high on? Baker. Well, I mean, I think Baker is going to be the surprise that no one sees coming, to the degree that he'll be popping off. Any more thought on Juju's draft with the Ballers? Do you think that the Ballers really dropped the ball because they would? Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Ballers did as good as I thought they were going to do in that draft. There's three minds there. And when Melvin Gordon went in the first round and they didn't rip on it and they were like, oh, that could work out, you knew that they were just in it for the promotion. They weren't going to rip apart anybody. That's when I kind of was like, this is a kind of a joke of a draft. It was entertaining, but when you don't critically and honestly talk about, hey, Gordon in the first round right now, no one's doing that. That isn't something you recommend to anybody. I think they should have been vocal on that. That was a way early pick. Smitty, how Brady's so low on the rankings, they got dudes like Allen. I like Brady. I don't think Brady's that low on my rankings. Is he, Gabriel? You would have took Kittle in the 4th. I take Kittle in the 3rd, baby. And Monty in the 3rd. I cracked up when that happened and commented immediately. I was in there, Hazel, if you saw me. I may have saw you in there, too. Okay, thank you. Chuck posted the title of this. It's Sleepers Bust, Week 1 Preseason Breakdown. We've covered that. Sleepers, we've covered that. Bust, we talked a little bit about that, but we can cover that more. Thank you, Chuck. Totally agree. Juju Ballers mock draft was straight entertainment purposes. Juju's first 4 or 5 picks was godly. Yeah, he did great. Gabe, thumbs up. 18 Dynasty startup. Mahomes first round. You get like 6 points per TD pass, Michael. If not, you want to wait probably around. But if QBs go really heavy in your draft, if the league history depicts that, it's not a bad move. But I think that you're better off taking Rodgers, or if it's 6 points per TD, taking Rodgers or Mayfield later. I wouldn't take Mahomes in the first round. I think you need to get one of those big guns. Kyler Murray, a viable fantasy QB, absolutely. 7 to 10 as a rookie. 500 plus carries for Monty the last 2 years. Kind of worried, but hopeful. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He had a boatload of carries, man. That's why I switched from the fantasy footballers to Sleeper U and FFS. Thank you, Kevin. Screenshot. I'm gonna put those on a testimonials, baby. Gabe, thumbs up. 18. Oh, I already got that. I like James White over Sony. Yeah, and I like Damian Harris as a stash and draft neither one of those guys. That's my look. I want in on the 823-48 Banger Bash draft. Absolutely. I might have to rename it Banger Bash. Ninja did best in the draft, in your opinion. What did Ninja have? Post his team. I didn't get a chance to see it. It's really hard to make out the draft picks too, if you guys were with me on that. Even when if you're watching on your phone or something and you turned your phone horizontal or whatever, you still couldn't make out crap. Keeper question. Keep 2, Kelce in the 3rd. Full PPR, 6 points. Tough one. Keeper, Watson in the 15th, DJ in the 13th, Kelce in the 3rd. DJ in the 13th, man. You got to go DJ. If it's 10 teams, full PPR, 6 points per QB, how early should you draft a QB? 10 teams, 6 points for TD passes. I would take Mayfield in like the 5 or 6 round, man, because I think you could still get him there for now, but that could definitely change. What's going on, Gary? But if QBs go really early, then it's hard. It's hard to know. Which tight end? Njoku, Delaney, Hooper, Ebron, Burton, or Graham in the 8th round? Dude, Njoku by a lot. Njoku by a lot. Sorry, I keep saying dude. That's like my common reaction, just to say, dude. Njoku by a lot. Rat, Smitty, you broke up. Was it Kelce and DJ? Kelce and it would be DJ. DJ by a lot. What can we look forward to in terms of content this week, Smitty? My draft is coming up, and I need as much fantasy football goodness as possible, is what he's asking. I think you'll be able to see an update on some draft strategy on the bold draft strategy feature. That if you go to bold predictions, you can click on that tab, click on bold draft strategies. You should see an update to the win a league rankings. You'll see the rankings get combed through with a fine-tooth comb, because preseason week 1's going to alter some things. So you'll see like Darwin fly up. You'll see, Baker probably remain where he's been at, number 3. You'll see a bunch of other stuff move around. And then I should have at least 1 article minimum by, I would say, the end of day tomorrow or early Monday. So don't worry. And then there should be like 2 or 3. I really crank out the content right about from now until the start of the year with a bunch of new articles. So get ready for that. What round would you take a kicker? Probably not. I probably wouldn't take a kicker if you can get away with it. World, definitely do that later. Like take another sleeper running back stash that you can hopefully benefit from while you're waiting to see who shakes out where and what. Like a Darwin Thompson or a Damian Harris, the backup running back in New England. Jalen Samuels and Benny Snell together, hold Snell instead of getting that kicker. I do that, and at the very last second drop a player for a kicker. That way you have more time, almost like a IR spot in a way. Just buys you time to kind of iron out who's going to be a breakout. DJ in the 13th, yes. Because, dude, that's Watson in the 15th, great value. Kelce in the 3rd is like a round of good value, but not anything close to DJ in the 13th. Not even close. Ever mock rookie drafts? I don't even do a redraft anymore. What we should do is I'll do a live on the board, the magnetic board in the studio, and do a rookie mock with you guys. So get ready for that. We'll do that. Wade, I'll have to look into that. Look into the film on that. Jacob had a good question. What's Jacob's question? Darren said, I can keep one from last season. Which one? James Conner or Damian Williams? I'm leaning Conner right now and grab Samuels in the mid rounds. I agree. I probably agree with that. Smitty, do you see Mahomes, Hardman, Kelce, and the Chiefs offense tonight? Yeah, I can't get any more higher on the Chiefs or the Browns. So everyone else is just AB's helmet again. People are running over AB's helmet left and right. I can't get any higher on Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. So everybody else is just going to catch up. The more amazing things both offenses do, the more people are just catching up. I have no room to move them up anymore. I can maybe move Baker to my number 2 QB instead of A-Rod. I mean, that could maybe happen, but Odell I already have as the bold. He will be the number 1 wide receiver in 2019, and Joku will be the top 4 surprise tight end in 2019. Nick Chubb with Kareem Hunt is a top 5 to 10 running back. You can't really get bolder than that with the Browns offense. And with KC, I think Mahomes is very, very worth a mid-third rounder. And arguably, if you look at the numbers, he's worth a first-round pick, but you don't have to pay that. You pay a third-round pick for him. And yeah, so damn, Smitty, you broke my heart when you told me Juju in the 4th instead of Jones in the 11th. My holdover deadline was last Friday and screwed up in a major way. So Juju in the 4th instead of Aaron Jones in the 11th. You didn't screw up, but I just think that you're talking about fielding a team, I think that where you can get Aaron Jones back. But I don't think it's a bad move. I mean, it's not a horrible move. I just would have made the other move. It doesn't mean it was horrible. I don't want to break your heart. It wasn't that bad, bro. I'd tell you if it was that bad. Yeah, Aaron Jones is not a total loss. I just think you would have been able to get him back. You just won't probably be able to get Juju back. And if you can't get him back near that value. So it just kind of makes it, you know. And if Jones got hurt, I just think Juju is like golden in the second round, top of the second round, and at 4th round value, it's fantastic. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. I love the Chiefs backfield. I've said it from the beginning, so I love when people tell me that I'm wrong about Damian Williams. I'm not, because I said over and over, Darwin, Thompson, and Damian Williams together are the situation you need to own. I'm not afraid of drafting Damian even now in the mid-3rd round, but I'm cuffing him to Darwin Thompson, and I've got a big ear-to-ear grin on my face. And in a lot of drafts, if I take Kittle instead in the 3rd round, if he's still there, I take Kittle over him. There's still players I take over Damian right now. Mahomes, I potentially take over Damian now. But if Mahomes is gone, Kittle's gone, and I'm looking at a bunch of players that I don't want to take Thielen yet, I don't want to take Hilton yet, then I'll take Damian, and then I'll cuff him to Darwin. But in a lot of cases, I'm taking Kittle, and I'm taking Darwin later anyways. Dalvin or Mixon at one point, or at number 14. Dalvin, I'm not big on Mixon at all. Mixon, if we're talking about bust in this video, bust candidates, Mixon's one of my potential bust candidates. I will draft him at a certain point. I think you take him when there's risky players, like, you know, I take Connor over him. But when you get to like James Conner, you get to those types of guys, then Mixon's kind of fitting the bill for, okay, we're taking somebody with a gamble or at a gamble type value. There's risk involved. But for me, Dalvin Cook, not even close. Not even close. Damn, just been seeing a Jones going in the 3rd, so I thought the value was better. Jones is great value. Don't be hard on yourself. You had 2 really good decisions. I would have taken the Juju. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll always give you honest opinion. And if you subscribe to sleeperu.com, SLEEPER, the letter U.com, like the university, sleeperu.com. If you subscribe, you get free one-on-one advice, and I'm going to shoot you straight and try and help you win your league. So if you haven't gotten that subscription yet, make sure you go to sleeperu.com and purchase, and then I'll give you that one-on-one advice. And in that one-on-one advice, I would tell you, hey, I like Juju better, but you had 2 really good decisions. You set yourself up good. Congratulations for having such a good year that you're able to keep one of those guys at that amazing value. And if it makes you feel any better, I would have thought about it a little bit before I made the, Juju. I didn't just go Juju like immediately. I had to look at it, process it a little bit, and that tells me that's not the easiest call to make. So you're okay. Don't worry about it. Would you take David Montgomery in the 2nd round over Cook? I'd take Montgomery over Mixon. Call me any name you want. I don't care. Not saying you specifically, James, but if you're watching this later and you want to leave a negative comment, call me whatever you want. I welcome it. I would take David Montgomery over Mixon. Chew on that. But I do like Cook over both. Smitty, send me the link. to sleeperu.com. Why can't I type in this? I'm on my live stream app here, so go to sleeperu.com. I can't send it to you, Gabriel. Just go to sleeperu.com right now in your browser. SLEEPER, like a fantasy football sleeper, and just add a U, a letter U at the end of it, .com. Check it out. And that's all you got to go. Go there, and you get one-on-one advice with the product. Guys, if you don't know, I'm going live August 23rd, Friday, for 24 straight hours. I'm the original OG of 24-hour live streaming on YouTube when it comes to fantasy football in the NFL. I don't know anybody else in the fantasy football business, let alone the NFL, that's gone live for 24 hours talking to you guys. 24 straight hours. I'm not handing it off to my teammate or partner because I'm solo. I'm a solo show. And I do it all myself. I don't go to bed. I eat in front of you. I think I took 4 bathroom breaks. I was a little dehydrated, so I might drink a lot more fluids this go around. So I might have maybe 7, 8 1-minute bathroom breaks, but they're short bathroom breaks. And I'm this time going to be out and about. I'm going to come here. Definitely coming here in Tempe. I'll ride the scooter around for a good hour and ask questions and do fantasy football questions with people. I'm looking right now for people, but it's not super busy here. But I'm doing 24-hour live stream Friday, August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we're kicking off about 2 or 3 hours into the show, the 40-18 draft. 47 of you are drafting with me. And the trading series, Kevin, let me get on that this week. I'll do another trading series video. But the 40-18 draft that we're drafting on August 23rd, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're drafting at like 5:30 p.m. Eastern. 4 copies of every player are thrown into that draft. So if you're drafting at pick, let's say you get the last pick in the first round, that'll be pick 48. You're going to be looking at Mike Thomas, Odell, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb. So it's going to be a fantastic draft. Yes, Hapa, I might be sending invites out early. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be putting a link in when we do it into the chat. Yeah, Sleeper U link is in the description. Jaws, you're the man. Thank you. It is actually. So Gabriel, go in the description of the video. At the bottom, you'll see all my links right there. Good catch, Gabriel. I forgot that I inserted that into my mobile live streaming pre-fill content. I don't know if Montgomery is going into 4th and 5th still. Then take advantage of it. Dread, take advantage of it. Tony got him today at 4.08. Tony's the man. Thoughts on taking Kittle over Chubb if I already have DJ and Dalvin? Don't listen to the haters on that. I'm okay with that. If you can start 3 running backs, I do like Chubb there, but don't worry about the haters on that. Random thoughts on Robbie Anderson, the man they call Robbie, the man some people call Roby. He's not a wide receiver 2 for me, but maybe a 3. Only for David Montgomery. David Montgomery's a top 25 overall player to me right now. Send one to my Sleeper U account, please. Hapa says. Okay, I'll try my best. What's your your Sleeper U account, Hapa? Hapa. It's in the description. Thank you. Gurley or carry on? Oh man, carry on probably. But if you could get Henderson for sure, it makes sense to consider him around that range to let people know where I would draw my line with Gurley. I'm waiting till the stream is over, Smitty, then I'm heading there because I want the guide to take to my draft. Gabriel, I don't have a guide. I have a website, a well-oiled machine that you can take with you on your mobile device, your iPad, whatever. It ain't no guide, buddy. Guides are for the little guy. You have an always updated, high-powered machine to take with you. And Gabriel, you can click on the little red boxes next to all the players to red line them out if you're at your draft and you want to know who was taken. It does refresh and reset upon page refresh, so make sure you don't refresh the page if you're dragging them around. Click the 3 vertical line and drag and drop the players around and hit the red box to red line them, hit the red box again to unred line them. The rankings at sleeperu.com are awesome. AB and Monty switch spots. I think AB goes to the 4th round, bro. Monty for me was already 3rd round, so I think Monty's now potentially bottom of the 2nd, but you could say if you can still steal Monty away in the 3rd round, then yeah, I think you got that one nailed. I saw a guy buy a fantasy magazine today at the store, almost cried for him. You should have said sleeperu.com, bro. Sleeperu.com. Basically, AB and Monty switch spots. Already read that. All right, guys. I'm going to call it. I appreciate every one of you. I'm here at the district talking fantasy football with you, and I do this often, and I will be here quite often because I think it's a good scenery, change of pace to get out of the studio. I don't want every video to be mundane and the same. I can do interviews. I can get on their electric scooter, but I'm going to peace out for now. But don't forget about my live stream August 23rd. It's a Friday. It's coming up, not this Friday, the next one. August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing a 48-team draft. Get ready for it. I'm going to be tired, and I'm going to need your help to keep me awake. But we're going to hit the streets. We're going to be in the studio. We're going to mock draft. We're going to do it all. August 23rd, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. And when this video processes, I would like to have some comments and questions down below because there will be no comments once YouTube publishes it. All the live chat will be and remain in the live chat. But I will answer your questions as always because I feel like I'm one of the most, if not the most, engaging fantasy football site on YouTube. Peace out. Thank you very much.